Hi Year 5, it's Mrs Gibbons. So we're on to session 2 in our reading and we are learning to develop our vocabulary. So I'm going to reread the text to you. I have highlighted 3 words that we're going to focus on today and it's useful just to see it in the text to see how it's being used. So I'll read it and then we'll look at those words in more detail. Good night, Santa. He opened and banged shut her bedroom door. Then he opened his and dragged her inside. He shut the door and beckoned her over to the bed. They sat side by side and talked in whispers. Santa began. Have you a plan? Yes, we're going to run away. Where to? Our uncle, the one Aunt Rebecca had the card from every Christmas. We might stay with him. We don't know where he is and we haven't any money. That's what the watch and bracelet are for. We'll sell them and perhaps the card says where he is. I'll get it. Santa looked doubtful. Don't want them to hear you creeping about. Peter got up. They won't. Luckily, the door handle turned very quietly. Peter stood in the passage and listened. Mr. Stibbings and Mrs. Ford were talking hard. Aunt Rebecca's room was at the end of the passage. Very quietly, he opened the door. Would Mrs. Ford have moved the card? He hoped not. Softly, he crept across the room and felt round the mirror. There it was in the top left-hand corner. In a moment, he had shut the door and was back in his room. Without a word, he sat down beside Santa and they read the card. It was a Christmas postcard with a picture of a church covered in snow on it. On the back, it said, Cobb Circus. Just a line, old dear, for the festive season. Hoping this finds you in the pink. Doing a 4-week season with above and tenting with same April. Love, Gus. Peter and Santa stared at each other. They hardly knew what the word circus meant. At some time or other, they had seen a poster advertising one, and some vision of that had remained in the back of their heads. That's where people stand on horses, Santa said. And a man sits on a lion, Peter added. Santa studied the card. Do you suppose our uncle's called Gus? What an awful name. I don't see how it can be our uncle, Peter objected. What would he be doing with the circus? Santa read what was written again. I wonder what tenting means. That's what he's doing now. It says April. Peter leant over her shoulder. So it does. I hadn't thought of that. He got up. Look, go to your room. Pack as much as you can in your case. Get into bed with all your things on except your shoes. Whatever you do, don't go to sleep. As soon as Mrs. Ford's asleep, and she snores so loud I'll be sure to hear her if I listen in the passage, I'll come and fetch you. Santa crept to the door. You'll bring my bracelet? Peter nodded. Where'll we go to? He shrugged his shoulders. I don't know where we'll go tonight. Tomorrow we'll find Cobb Circus. So the first word we're going to look at is beckoned. So in the text it says he shut the door and beckoned her over. So the first thing I'd like you to do is try and define it in your own words. Say what you think that word means. You are able to use a dictionary or an online dictionary and write down what you think beckon means. So pause the video and when you're ready to move on, then unpause it. Okay. Synonyms are words that mean the same. So we're looking for words that mean the same as beckoned. So here are a couple of examples to help you. Motioned or gestured could both be used in place of beckoned. So you're going to try and add to that list of synonyms, words that mean the same. We're also going to look at antonyms, words that mean the opposite. So the opposite of beckoned could be dismissed or deterred. And again, there will be more antonyms that you can add to the list. So you can present it in any way you like. You might want to do it in this format here with your definition and your synonym and antonym, or you could do it in a list. So I will put on the next slide some antonyms and synonyms that I found online, which you might want to use to help you, or you can use your own resources, or try and think of, ideally, if you could think of it without looking at the list, that would be perfect. So I'll put that on. You can pause the video while you write your synonyms and antonyms and definition of beckoned. Okay. The second word we're going to look at is doubtful. So again, you need to write your definition. We'll just go back to the text and see where this word is in the text. Okay, so if we look here in the text, it says, Santa looked doubtful. So we're going to work through the same process now as we did with that first word. So you need to write a definition, write some synonyms for the word doubtful. I've given you a couple to get started, and write some antonyms as well. Again, as usual, I have done a slide with some synonyms and antonyms that can help you. You can use them or use your own resources. So pause the video and do those for the second word, and then when you're ready to move on, come back and unpause the video. Okay, our third piece of vocabulary, same process. The word that we've used is vision, so let's go and look at that in the text. So it says, at some time or other, they had seen a poster advertising one, and some vision of that had remained in the back of their heads. So you need to be careful with this one because vision can mean different things in different contexts. So this one, it's as a sort of an image that's in someone's mind. So I've given you one synonym and one antonym to get you started, but you need to obviously add to that list as well as writing your definition. And for this final piece of vocabulary, I'd like you to try and draw this as well. So show us vision in a drawing. Okay, well done, Year 5. Take care. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.